Okay, Evidence, thank you for taking your time to speak. Um, just first and foremost, how's it been back with the national team? Because, when the season started, things weren't really looking, so good for you. Um, you had been on the bench, Pirates, struggled with a little bit of injuries in the beginning. But just how are you feeling now that you're regular and you're back with the national team?
Obviously, it feels so great to be back in Bafana.
Mm.
Uh, Even at the club, it's good to be back. So, but all along I knew the reason why I'm not playing is because I had injuries, problems, and other stuff. But the moment I came back, I knew, okay, now I have to push to get back to starting 11 to the team,
Mm.
so that maybe I can also get a call up back to Bafana. So I'm glad that happened along the way.
Mm. Just taking it back a little bit, when you burst onto the scene with Baroka, it was quickly into the under 23 national team. Everything happens very quickly from you. If I'm not mistaken, you were playing like informal eKasi football and went straight into the professional ranks, if I'm not mistaken. How did that happen? How were you discovered, and how do you think it happened so quickly for you from being eKasi football to going to the Olympics, for example?
For me, I can say maybe it's because when I take a look back, like flashbacks,
Mm.
I can say maybe I worked hard,
Mm.
like to be where I am today. Uh, Even if I can think maybe from where I've been scouted, like I've been playing like rural, Gazi football, like so I was scouted by Baroka,
Do you know who was it specifically that scouted
the
you?
the person.
Yeah,
At that time, because it was my Gazi that side,
yeah,
Beresford, so Mamila was there,
okay.
Morgan, who is currently, I don't know his position at Chipa, but
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
he was
I
the
get
one
it.
who scouted me
Yeah,
back then. So he took me to Baroka, so it's where maybe I played. I started SAB League,
yeah, yeah.
so they promoted me to MDC, but the very same year,
Mm,
I think it was 2019.
mm,
So 2020
mm,
February, I think, is where I got promoted to the first team.
mm,
So it's where I started playing. It's when COVID started.
mm.
So after that season is when I went back again. So the following season is when I
Yeah, you
think
really made it.
yeah,
Yeah.
I started to being called to Bafana.
Mm,
Yeah, from there, before Olympics,
yeah,
yeah, it's when I signed with Perez.
yeah. I
Then
mean,
went back to loan
yeah,
to
yeah.
Baroka.
But I mean, is there any sense of like, was there any sense of like regret, like when you weren't playing because we knew that there was interest overseas, and did you regret it at any point in saying like maybe I should have stayed at Barocca, or maybe I should have tried and fight for a move overseas, because we knew there was offers coming for you. And there was Greece, there was France, and things like that.
Not really,
Mm.
because you cannot regret because I was just arriving, so it's when I got injured. So you cannot say maybe I'm not playing because I'm not doing well or I'm
Mm.
not doing enough.
Mm.
It's because of injuries. So there
Mm.
is no way you can maybe start point figures that maybe the reason why I'm not playing is because maybe I made a bad move or something.
Mm.
So there is no way you can regret and do a lot of things.
Yeah. Um, you were very close with Goodman, obviously. Both from Barocca went to Pirates, and he had some mental health issues or something of the sort when he came into Bafana. Just can you explain to people like how difficult is it to be like a rural village boy and playing Kasi football, and then all of a sudden you playing for the national team, you playing for Orlando Pirates, you a famous figure. I mean, for example, even you in a foreign country like Ivory Coast, in that short space of time, how difficult is it to like adapt to that and hear so much noise, everybody talking about you, having opinions about you, you know what I mean?
I can say it's very difficult, especially to maybe to adjust yourself from that level to that level. So it's very difficult. It can even affect you mentally
Yeah.
because, but you know very well, everyone has something to say. Even if you're doing good, there will be people that will talk bad about you. So
Yeah.
even if you do bad, it's all about how you you pick yourself up. So sometimes it's like it's how you're gonna. What can I put this?
Okay, let's just ask you, how do you pick yourself up? Because I mean, you're a human being, and there's a lot of people who criticize you, whether it's fair or unfair. You know what I mean? How do you pick yourself up, or do you just try and ignore it?
No, sometimes you can try to be strong, but I think the main important thing is to have a family that like got your back. Some people that gonna always be there for you. Some people that will always support you, no matter how the situation is. You just need those people that will support you all the time. Maybe they can remind you, no, don't worry, boy, you are the best, something like that. I think it's different when you hear that from someone, your mom, your dad, something like that. So I think for me, it's something that is important to me. It's something that motivates me because I know I got support from my family. So
How much confidence do you get when Coach Yugo phones you and says you're in the squad? Because I remember the first ever squad he named. We played Uganda, and a lot of the players from the Kosafa Cup was in there. It was like Ethan Brooks, Roadblock, there was you, Hlongwane. So that was like, the first step of Yugo Brewers.
yeah,
And you were part of that vision, you know what I mean?
yeah.
And yes, things happen. But when he calls you back, does that give you a lot more confidence knowing that, this guy like really likes me, really believes in me and what I can do?
Yeah, you do, because the previous camp. So I was called as a replacement for Lebo. So I was in a squad, if you can remember. So I got a call from manager, say that like, okay, you have to come to camp. You are a replacement for Lebo. So for me, that thing showed me that okay, I'm still part of the vision that you talk about. Like okay, I'm still there. I'm still in the picture. It shows me that like Coach Hugo has a faith in me. He got a belief that I can do a lot of things for him. I can help the team. Yeah.
Were you ever concerned about like where your career was going at any point? I
Not,
mean, it's
not
easy.
not really, but you have to be worried. But I know the reason why I wasn't playing is because I think it was injuries and fitness. Yeah, nothing much.
In your relationship with Zykes, obviously from the outside it might be like, oh, you guys are competing for a place at Pirates and you're competing for a place here now in the national team. Uh, can you explain what is that relationship like?
No, for me, I can say like it's a good one because even you can see when I'm with him, we always laugh because sometimes you have to accept, okay, this guy I'm competing with, but at the end of the day, he's my brother. Like we have to be, we have, we have to be brothers at the end of the day. So my relationship with Riggs, I think is a good one. A very good one. Even at the club is a good one. So when the other one is playing, the other one have to support you and show the love that okay, boy, you can do it, and you can do it better. So
I mean, you guys go through the same type of things. Like, I mean, you just have to go look on Instagram or X or whatever, and you know, being a striker is an unforgiving position. Like, you know, a midfielder or a centre back or a right back can miss a chance and life goes on. You miss a chance, the world ends. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it.
I mean, so you go through the same issues. Is it something that you guys even discuss and say, hey, look what these people are saying?
Yeah, sometimes you can even chat, okay, man, take those people out of your mind, and you have to pull yourself up, because sometimes, even now, maybe, okay, I know my mom is someone who maybe we talk regularly
Yeah.
if things, but at this moment, maybe you are in a place you cannot even call her because she doesn't have WhatsApp and other stuff.
Yeah.
So here you have to pick yourself up. So you need someone who like really understand your situation sometimes. But I think as a strikers, me and Ziggs, we know better, because you can even have a good game as a striker, but with no goals, you're shit. You're not
Yeah.
good striker.
Yeah.
So it is what it is, man.
Yeah.
So sometimes we have those conversations, me and Ziggs. Yeah. Even at the club, sometimes we have those conversations. Say, hey, bro, hey, it's tough now. We have to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, what have you made of the standard of international football? It's your first AFCON now. I mean, obviously it's only one game, so it's not really, you don't have a good idea, but what did you make of Mali?
I can say standard here is very high. Yeah, you can even watch the other games. You cannot predict what's gonna happen. So that shows you that this tournament is big enough, because it's the biggest competition in African continent. So
Yeah.
it's a big one. So I'm glad to be here. So hopefully I can help the team to do well.
Going back to your club situation, I think the first thing when Jose Rivera first got appointed, because you were already there when he arrived, and he said you're super talented, but you got an ankle injury, but he has no doubt that when you fit, you will score goals. Just working under him, he also divides opinion. Some people love him, he's won trophies, and some people say yeah, he's not challenging for the league. But from a purely coaching perspective, how influential has he been on you? Because a lot of people would say that perhaps you weren't getting the type of coaching that Pirates provide you at Baroka, which they would admit to as well. So yeah, just how influential has Jose been with you, and do you feel that his coaching has helped you?
Yeah, Jose is a very good coach, man. Very good one, and a very humble human being, very kind. So for me, I think I learned a lot of things from him, and I think I will still learn a lot of things from him. So for me, he's a good coach, and he has a very big impact. So yeah, there's nothing much I can say about him, but I know he got that influence towards me. Like I know, okay, he can change a lot of things in
Yeah.
me. So I can learn new things, yeah, and maybe improve the older ones.
But I mean, from like a tactical perspective, you don't need to go into deep.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, do you see football differently now because of him, and maybe even Yugo?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, very, because if you know, I had a lot of coaches at Baroka, but this one, I think he got different dimension.
Yeah.
Yeah, very different.
Like, I mean, for example, you know, you usually, because you're tall, you'd be a box striker. Hey, go Evidence, go into the box and head the ball. But like under him, you're playing more wide, you're running through channels and things like that. With Yugo, I think in the first game, I saw you defending a lot, where you won a lot of possession, your work rate was very high. So, you know, it's showing that you have many different dimensions to your game. Where at Baroka, it was just like, yeah, go stand in the box, Evidence. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
But I think as a player, like you just have to be more like I can say versatile or something.
Yes, Vesta.
Yeah. 'Cause
Dynamic and
if
versatile.
a coach comes, a new coach comes and say, I want you to play like this as a striker. At the end of the day, you have to adjust yourself, maybe to fit in his books. Because you cannot say, no, me, I'm this kind of a striker. So
Yeah.
that means you might not play
Yeah.
anywhere. So you have to adjust in every situation.
The final one for me, what do you hope to achieve during your time at Pirates? Because I know you still harbor ambitions of moving overseas. So what would you like to achieve? And what type of time frame are you giving yourself to achieve that?
For me at Perez, the main thing is to win a league title with Orlando Perez. I know it's been a while, but we are working on that. I know now it seems like things are not going well, but it's not too late. And I still have time in the club, so I think we can still do it. So it's that main thing that I want with Perez.